Hi, this is Arya. Please subscribe to TalksOfCinema.
So we're recording a live. So thank you so much for joining us today, and I
Pleasure is
hope
all
this.
mine. Accept.
Thank you. I hope this is the first interview you are giving for a Tamil channel. I hope so.
On web, yes, but I
Mhm.
have done one for Tamil Radio Michi. So
Okay. So in YouTube, this is like the first
yes, yes, yes.
entry. So already you are part of Tamil movies, but still welcome to Tamil YouTube channels. Welcome
Thank
to
you so
South
much.
India.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sir. So before we start, today during this lockdown, uh, Mahabharata or Mahabharat, as you rightly call, is trending around the globe. And
Right.
the character Bheeshma, you played it so well that people could not imagine another actor, or even if it is to be made, into the silver screen, people could not imagine someone else except you playing that character. So I will not ask you about what went inside in the making of Bhishma into Aarav. I'll all ask like when this complete character came to an end, when the shooting of Mahabharata came to an end, when you have to say goodbye to Bhishma and get back to being Aarav. What was that one thing you took back from Bhishma? Like this is the one quote or this one life lesson I took from Bhishma in my life.
Aditya, there's a lot to learn from Bhishma, and there's a lot to learn from Mahabharat. Mahabharat is the biggest um, हिंदी में जैसे हम कहते हैं महाकाव्य scripture written ever. Um, and I have learned a lot from Bhishma, but what I try and imbibe from him is never give up. If you have thought of something, if you have uh, promised somebody something, if you sign a contract, live up to it no matter what. And I strive to do that. And and Bhishma was the biggest and the most strongest warrior of that time. But at the same time, he was very, very humble and down to earth. That is another thing, that quality of his that I try to follow and try and be as humble as possible.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And you are, just to quote here, I received a message around say 12:50 that saying, "Hi Vidya, can we connect today at 4:10?" I mean, I have interviewed actors before and in Skype, and none of them had messaged me. It's we who take the first call and say, I'm here for an interview and kindly connect to us. And in fact, you mentioned the word please, like, can we do this please? I have not seen such an actor who's like so humble and on message, on call, on interviews, all fine because the cameras are there. But off camera, you have maintained that, and that's the moment I read that, moment I received the message, I was all thrilled for this interview. I was like, you're doing this.
The thing is, Aditya, if I am in a position uh, of a celebrity, of an actor, people world over look up to somebody, it is because of my hard work, blessings of my elders, my family, and love from everyone. So, why is it that I won't reciprocate that love and respect to everybody else? It's as simple as that. So, I don't feel that I'm doing something special if I'm being polite and nice and humble to anyone and everyone, because that's the way it should be. Because when I receive love from everyone, from the world over, including you, you've been so kind and nice to me. So why shouldn't I be kind and nice to you and everybody else around me? So it's as simple as that.
Yeah, it is. But the thing is, most of us don't follow it. That is the problem because when you do characters like Bhishma and when you're spoken about around the globe, and when people from various parts of the world follow you on your social media and they look up to you, there is a kind of an attitude or a head weight which builds up. So how do you maintain that? How do you say, what, it's a character and an actor who's playing the character? How do you tone down that kind of attitude or kind of what do you call it? The appreciation, let me put appreciation.
No, Aditya, whether it is Bheeshma that I am playing or I'm playing any other character, uh, I do not take my character as everybody else says, take back home. Now forget take the character back home. I don't even take the character beyond action and cut. When the director says roll, that is when I call the character Bheeshma. Please come, join me. Action and Bheeshma is with me. Me and Bheeshma, we are the same. Cut. I say thank you, Bheeshma. Leave me. And I'm myself. So it is as simple as that for me. As an actor, as a performer, no matter which character I'm doing, I am that character only between role, action, and cut. That's it. Nothing
That's
beyond
why
that.
I think that's why you're able to pull off that character so well. That discipline in you.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't want to dwell into how and why, and every actor, every performer, every artist has got a technique. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
most of it, some of it, depending on it's gifted, and some of it is, or most of it is craft. And how hard you work on your craft, that is up to you. And then there are various ways. So everybody's approach to acting or whatever profession you are in as a creative person is different. So yeah, mine is that action cut.
So nice, so nice.
That's it. Yeah.
Action cut, so simple. So moving on, sir. So I've always wanted to know this from actors who have done memorable characters on screen. If you have to define an actor, if you have to define an actor's skill, what would it be like? If you have to define actor, who's an actor?
An actor is somebody who's forever observing and learning. It's as simple as that. I am observing, that there's a door behind you, and there's door because you are at a distance. But I see half a door also, probably. That is the other door behind you. The specs that you're wearing, the color of the t-shirt, the way you're speaking. And on top of that door, there's something else that I can see as well. And at the same time, I'm aware of my surroundings. It was raining heavily outside, and I'm aware of the fact that my cat is, my Ginger, my boy is sleeping, lying down right here. So an actor is somebody who's, and it is not just an actor. Actors are much more sensitive than other creative people because they have to portray and bring it in front of the camera, in front of the audience, as a person. But even other creative fields, creative people, they are also the same. We are much more enhanced. So I have to be constantly aware of my surroundings, what's happening around me. And that is something that I'm required to portray a particular character, a particular scene, a particular dialogue. It comes into play, and it is constantly a learning process. As I said, it is going into my system, whatever is happening. So the more I'm aware of my surroundings, uh, whatever I see, whatever I hear, sound, reading, books, television, cinema, whatever, real life, and I'm open to learning. That's an actor.
Does reading books, shape you as an actor more than watching movies? Reading books, novels which is based on one single character, does it shape you, or does it help you when you have to import a character on screen?
I didn't get that question. Can you repeat it, please?
No, so people have the tendency to read books. Books have characters which are very memorable. So,
right?
as an actor, do you feel that reading books will help you to shape your character and shape your acting skills when it comes to portraying a particular character on screen? It could be any character, but does book help you?
No, not really, because again, as I said, every actor uh, has got a different technique and a different way to approach a particular character. As far as I am concerned, um, I'm learning and I'm getting everything in my system 24/7. Even when I'm sleeping, you know, before I sleep, I fall into sleep. There's a good 10-15 minutes of time when it's that zone where I'm going into dream, but the thought is on. I'm still aware of what's happening. I'm thinking and I'm dreaming and I'm learning. So, as an actor, I am learning 24/7. When it comes to approaching a particular character that I have to play, I just have to pick up from that memory in my head and say, yeah, okay, I've seen this somewhere. I don't really know where, because if I'm aware of my surroundings 24/7, then I'm picking up things from everywhere, right? It can be a speech pattern, okay, that I've seen somewhere. It can be a walk, how a person walks. It can be, if there's an old man, how he'll walk. If there's a young boy of 20 years old, how he will walk, how he'll talk, he'll express himself, how an old man will express his body language. So all these things, as I said earlier, if you're aware of your surroundings, you're learning 24/7, and that includes, reading as well. But I don't need to, in particular, unless it's a historical character or a character that that I am not aware of. Then, of course, if there's a reading material available, then I would go through it. I would go through the process, notes, whatever I can. Let's say if I'm playing Bhagat Singh or Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose or any of these characters, then yeah, whatever we've seen in photographs and this and that, then I would like to read about them, and that helps. And then I would put that in my head and think that, okay, this is how this character should be. But mostly it is not pertained to just reading or, books or this and that. It's learning 24/7. So, and that comes into play whenever, whatever your character you play.
Okay, okay. So, is there a process behind preparing for a particular role? Like, what do you do? Like, do you practice in lines in front of the mirror, or you go at isolation? Like you say, nobody, don't
No,
disturb me. I have to practice. I have to get this going.
no, no, no. I don't have any such discipline where I need to be isolated from the world or nothing of that sort. Maybe because I'm repeating myself again and again and again. If I am learning 24/7, if I'm learning and picking up things, picking up data in my server 24/7,
Mm-hmm.
I do not need to take a break and get into isolation. Having said that, it will depend on the role and the character that I'm playing. So let's say if I'm playing a wrestler, I was supposed to play a legendary wrestler. It didn't materialize, but I prepared for it. So I will look at the photograph of, if the wrestler is of today's times, okay. That wrestler was in, I think, 1940s or 1930,
Okay.
between 1930s and 1940s. Now, the bodies of the wrestlers and the technique of wrestling was different at that point of
Yeah.
time, and it is different today. So I'd have to change my body. I have to start looking like a wrestler. Okay, so for that I'll have to work out. But I will have to work out and eat in such a fashion that my body should resemble the wrestler of 30s and 40s, not of today. Because if you see today's wrestlers, everybody's got a 6-pack, 8-pack, they're much more muscular. And if you see wrestlers of that era, they were bigger, but they had a big stomach, and the wrestling style, the eating habits, everything was much different. So I would do that, if I'm playing a warrior like Bheeshma, then I'll have to keep that in mind that, okay, we have an image, we have a calendar image, that's what we call, of Bheeshma, how he probably looked. And we have to do something and make Bheeshma believable for today's generation, right from a 2-3-year-old kid to somebody who's, 70, 80, 100, whatever. And I have to make Bheeshma in such a way that everybody who's anywhere, in the world should be able to relate to that character. Yes, this person looks like Bheeshma because he is a legendary warrior. It cannot be that, okay, I can get away with having a paunch or, just being big. No. So because today's generation, since the last so many years, we are used to, seeing Hollywood cinema, television, and everything. There's so much of exposure to the audience that everybody knows that, when we see a warrior, we've seen the gladiators, we've seen everybody, and they're all big and muscular, and they have the 6-pack and 8-pack and everything. So that preparation would go, and it took me 6 to 8 months just to prepare Bhishma's body, And if you look at it minutely now, that is where hard work and technique and expertise comes in. Very few people would notice that when you see Bheeshma from the beginning, when he's a 25-year-old boy, okay, his body, his face, his attitude, the way he speaks, everything looks like a 25-year-old boy.
Yes.
It's different. So, as I was saying, now when you see Bhishma's character aging, I had to change the body as well. And if you look closely, there's a difference in, though he's a warrior, though he's strong, but a boy's body is different from a man as he's aging. So towards the end, Bhishma had become very lean. I had to be on an extremely strict diet. I was shooting, filming for 12 hours. I was doing the Kurukshetra war, sweating it out in heat, dust, every possible way. And I had to use minimum carbohydrates. So because if you don't eat carbohydrates, your energy level is low. Increase my protein. So the muscles are there. Visible 6-8-pack muscle is there, but it's much leaner. So I had to put in that effort, and still work out 2 hours a day. So that is the kind of preparation it goes for me as an actor, depending on, what character I'm doing. Physically, mentally, how, Bhishma would think from in a particular situation, what he would feel like, his emotions, how he would behave, how he would react. As I said, though he's the strongest warrior, so he looked like a warrior, but not even a single gesture of his, he would appear as if, he's know all. He's still humble. He's still down to earth. So internally, externally, each and every possible way, as an actor, one has to work on, the entire thing of, not only just the body, but how the character would feel from inside, So that's how it goes.
Beautifully said, sir. Thank you so much for giving us, the thing is that when I talk to people, it is so enriching, and it is so nice to have a 360-degree answer from them. It's not a straight answer. You explained us the entire process as to how this goes about, and as you rightly said, observing and you're replicating what you observe is the biggest core strength of an actor. Thank you so much for that. And moving on. So when we look at your career, sir, like let it be movies and television shows, I feel you're an actor who is more into character-driven actor, not market-driven actor. By market, I mean current trend, following the current trend. You could have been that girl's man for a number of movies. I mean, if you look at Bollywood or for the matter of it, other industries, there are, around 10, 15, 20 films which is made like, the hero is there, the heroine goes behind the hero, and the hero does something for the heroine, and the movie ends. You could have done movies like that, but you
No,
chose
Aditya,
to.
let me stop you there. I would have,
Uh-huh.
and I still would love to do all those movies.
Yeah, but
The producers have to decide.
no,
You
but the
know,
thing is, like, when we have a look at your filmography, as rightly said, you have chosen characters which people will remember you for. Even after.
yeah, I mean, see, if I'm offered, not that I'm offered a million scripts or, so much of work, but whatever work comes my way, I try and pick and choose whatever is, interesting, whatever is challenging, whatever I can work upon, and it would be, as you said, remembered. So I work on the dialogue delivery. I work on the body. I work on uh, the dialogues. I try and uh, if the need be, work around with the script. A lot of things, whatever I can bring my this thing on to the table when I'm picking up a character and when I'm filming. So yeah, but then uh, as I said, I would love to do so many other things, but well, it is for the powers that be to decide. And if whether it is Tamil cinema or Telugu or Malayalam or Kannada or Hindi cinema or English, whatever, uh, they offer me whatever roles. So I'll I would love to do the regular hero. I would love to do the regular stuff. But again, as I said, it has to come
No,
my way.
no. Okay, so like I'm assuming that after Bheeshma, you must have been poured with offers. I believe, like after that television series came out, you must have received a lot of offers.
So there were
So
a lot of offers, but they were similar roles.
okay, okay,
They were all. Everybody wanted to make a mythological. Everybody wanted to, and there were loads of mythologicals on television made, and I was offered, similar characters, which nobody could offer me a Bheeshma. It's not that I don't want to do a similar character, but right now I am doing a show where I play a Senapati, commander in chief, and it's a mythological historical. But it's been after such a long gap because a script with such a strong role with dialogues, everything that has to come my way. Otherwise, I do not want to be in that zone where nothing can come close to Bhishma. So I'd rather do something else, where there is no comparison and there is no. And I would rather do something which is new to me and new to the audience as well.
audience as well. Yeah, very
Yeah.
true.